your boy Dave Cruz. I feel so alone out here in this land. The waves tearing me.
Okay, welcome back, guys, to another episode of Think Skill with the Cruise. Today, we're going to make a very simple palm a client sent in, but with slight modification. Instead of using black welt, we are going to use a brown colored stock welt. Then we're going to use this Marco sole to do the sew. The first thing is the client is size 42. We'll take our size 42 pattern. If you watch the video where I did introduction, you're going to see how to get most of this pattern. We're going to mark it on the sole, something like this. So we'll get the size out first. Then we'll get that for the second one. Then the next thing we're going to do now, quickly, is going to fix this welt. We're going to fix this welt round this sole. Now, because we've already marked size 42, so the back side of the welt is going to sit on the line. So we're going to have something like this, round this. And what we are going to use to fix it, we are going to use glue. We're going to use glue to fix the welt round this sole. So let's quickly do that. So this is the glue we are going to use. Let's quickly do it. Now, in fixing glue, make sure you are very careful, meticulous. You apply the glue and press it down for, say, 5 seconds, 6, 7 seconds. Just press it down for a while. Let it hold very well. So this is what we'll have. So we are going to fix this welt round the sole. Now, carefully, following and observing all the curves. Okay? We are going to do the same on the second leg. So when we are done fixing the welt round, this is what we are going to get. Then we are going to trim the excess part off. Whether you use your tensile knife, that's your cutter, but you have to do it carefully. Do it carefully so you don't cut it wrongly, or you use normal knife, whichever one. Just trim it off. Then we'll now take it to the filing machine. We'll now file it to shape. That's what we're going to do next. That way our sole is ready. Then we'll now do the inner part, that's the insole. We'll now create the insole together. So I'm just going to trim this off. Just reduce it. You need to eat like 2 wraps of fufu or pounded yam to be able to cut all these things. The point is just cut them off, sha. And if you know you don't have the strength to cut it, you can take it to the filing machine and file for like 1 hour. But yeah, it's still going to go off. So when we reduce it, we'll now take it to the machine. This is off. So this is what we get. So we are going to take it out to our filing machine and we are going to file it round to get the final smooth shape before we get the insole. So let's go. So before we go on to filing the footwear for perfect fit and perfect shape, before we go on to file it properly, now remember I talked about what we call insole and undersole. Now this is like the undersole. This thing around it is called welt. We have plain ones, we have the ones with design like we call them stock welt. The ones that have sewing on it. This is how we buy it. They come this way. Now we want to get the insole. That's the part of the footwear that your leg will match on. That's the floor for this part. So what you do is you take a material called Marco 6. You can either use Marco alone or you can put Marco and fiber, whichever one you choose. In this case, we can use Marco 6 or Marco 4. But because of the nature of this particular job, I think I'm going to use Marco 4 and fiber because of this hole, so that the Marco will not eat into this hole as time goes on. So I'll just use Marco 4 and fiber to form this inside. So now let's quickly do that. So this is what we are going to do. We're going to take the footwear. We're going to turn it against the Marco. Make sure it is sitting properly. Then you take hammer. You're not going to take hammer, and you're going to hit this sole round the Marco. Just hit the edge. We're going to hit the edge carefully. Now, when you are done doing that, if you look at it carefully, if you can see it very well, you'll see that the welt made an impression round this Marco. Now, you are now going to look at your welt. The inner part of the welt, the inner part that will sit properly by this edge, you're going to locate it here. Then you will now carefully trim it out. Carefully trim it out. So we'll have something like this. So we'll trace that line carefully. Notice the lines are multiple. You try to locate the one that will be the inner part of the work. We'll have this. So now it will sit inside here like this. You can notice it will sit inside the weld. So this is what we are trying to achieve. Any part that is excess, you arrange it like you arrange, make sure the edge is sitting inside. Then the excess part, you just leave it on the outer part. Like here now, from here to here, is you can call this excess. So I will gently hit this like this. It will leave an impression. See it small. Carefully remove it. Check again. Please, you cannot use left leg to do right leg. Oh. You do both different. Just repeat the same process. See it sitting inside it perfectly. So that is how we get the inner part. Then the next step is we're going to apply gum on this part that is under. We apply gum here. Then we apply gum on the material we call fiber. This is the material we call fiber or board. We are going to place this on it and mark it out. Then we apply gum and cut both out. So that's what we are going to do next. So we are going to mark this on the material we call fiber. So this is it. Some people call it board. So you mark it carefully. Make sure it is aligned properly. Properly aligned. So you have something like this. After you do this, you now apply gum. So we have this. So we apply gum here, and we gum it together. Then we cut it out. You mark the second leg too. Be careful not to place them left or right. Oh. So one will have to be alternating. It will be left and right, not left and left. So we're going to apply gum here, and this. We'll gum it and we'll cut it out. So we have gum on the fiber. We also have gum on this. So we're going to place them together quickly. So we'll have this. We have this. This. Then we will cut it out. We will cut it out. Think somebody for me. So now we have our Marco and fiber for the insole. So this is what it's going to look like this. Perfect fit. Now we are going to now place this on our desired leather. The leather we want to cover this face with, and this is our choice of leather. This brown. This is a fiance leather. So this is what we are going to cover this floor with. So this is how we go about it. You will place your leather here. Then we mark it. Say like this. So we have something like this. Then I'm going to mark it round. Now we'll mark it even allowance. Say 1 inch allowance round it, or slightly lesser if you know you can manage the lesser, like you can handle it to fold it to wrap this like this. But the idea is 1 inch is preferable for learner or for beginners. You can just do 1 inch. So we mark it round like this. So we have this. This is for one, and this is for the second one. We have this. With my pen, yeah. We have this. Yeah, I think it's more visible with viral. So we have this. We just cut it out. Cut it out. So this is off. So what we do now is we apply gum in all the space, and we apply gum on the macro parts, not the fiber parts. So we are going to apply gum 1, 2, 3. So we have gum on the 3 parts now. This, and the leather we want to wrap the floor with. So the next thing we do is carefully place it on the leather. The leather is stretchy, so I will slightly just pull so that the length will be enough. I use the stretchy part of the leather. I'll do the same here. I'll place it in a way I'll have space. Then I'll use the stretchy part of the leather to place. So now I have 2 smooth surfaces and I'll shear it into 2. I have this. We have this guy. We have this guy. So we're now going to apply gum 1 inch around the inner part of the fiber because we want to fold this down. So we need gum round this fiber like this. So that's what we are going to quickly do. A little bit like this. Like this. So once we are done applying gum all through the fiber part, this is what we are going to have. So now we are going to carefully just notch this edge a little. That's this inner curve. Then we'll fold this. We'll fold this like this. Fold this like this. You do it very neat because the idea is you don't want wrinkle showing on this side of the footwear. So you fold this very, very neat. So you have this. You notice I'm being very careful to make sure the side is neat. That's the idea. So we have this. We have this. So this is what you get at the end of the day. So this is what we are trying to achieve. Inside here now there is macro and fiber. Remember, if you were in the training before when we talked about the materials, I was showing us that this material is inside here. This is this, this is that. So this is for this, then to sit inside this like this. You understand now? Now our insole is ready, but we are still not finished the under, so we still need to go and bring this to the same shape as the welt. So we are going to do that, and we're also going to brush this back so that gum can stay on this. So we are going to now go to the machine and quickly do that. Once we are done with that, we'll now come and make the upper design for the footwear. So we'll have the 3 parts: upper design, insole, and undersole. So we now have the undersole ready. Look at the edge, neatly filed into shape, and we filed the under part of this. Remember I told you in the previous video, any leather that we have like this, we need to brush it so that it can hold gum perfectly. So the undersole and the insole is ready like this. Now we're now going to quickly work on the design. This is the leather we are using for the upper design. This is basket leather. I already have the pattern, so to save time, I'm just going to bring the pattern and we're going to place and cut it out quickly. So this is the pattern. So we're just going to place it directly on our leather and cut. So we'll have something like this. Or something like this. Place. I'm going to mark. Cynthia, please bring one marking pen for me. Quick. So we have this. We have this. So this is us marking the pattern out. We have this and the second one. So let's place it like this. This. And this. So this is the 2 for both legs. The reason why we didn't flip the pattern this and this is because it is symmetrical. You understand? So that's why we didn't cut it. So we'll cut it out now quickly. We'll mark it on our lining and we'll gum it together. So you have this. Your cutting should be clean. Clean cut. You see how I'm being very careful so that the curves will be clean. This is what it should look like. Now we are going to mark it on our lining, apply gum on this side, and the lining that will come both together. That is what we are going to do now. So this is what it's going to look like on the last. This is what we are doing. Yes. So this is the lining where we are going to place it. We are going to now mark. We're going to mark it on this lining, and we will now gum and attach. So we have something like this. Mark it. Mark it. Mark it. So we'll mark. Excuse me. Apply gum here and there, and we'll come together. So we've applied gum in all the 4 parts. This is leather. We've applied gum. We've applied gum on the lining and both. So we're going to carefully place them on the lining. Carefully. So this is it. To the top. Carefully place on the lining. So we have this second one too. So we are going to have this now. We've carefully placed it on the lining. So we are going to sew this after we mallet it. So this is what we are going to do: mallet the work on the floor. I told us when we were making the first palm how we mallet our work. So we are going to place this on the floor like this. Then we'll use our mallet to ram it very well. So you have something like this. After we ram, then we sew it. Before we will now trim the work. So we are going to quickly sew this work now. Then we're going to trim. So this is where we are going to sew the edge before we trim it. So it has been sewn. If you look at it very well, this edge has been sewn round. Something with this part. It has been sewn here. So that's here. So what we are going to now do is carefully trim it out. We'll trim out the unwanted part of the lining. So we'll have this. Carefully remove this part. So this is what we're trying to get. The lining is there. Then the upper. So this is what we're trying to get now for our upper design. This is the upper design. Then the picture the client sent, there's a logo here. So the reason we've gotten something to use, so this is going to be by this side. The reason why we didn't put that before is that it will not allow us to sew this curve very well, and it has to be by the edge. So now we're going to apply this and we'll trim the second one. So we are attaching the logo now. We're going to place it here. If you press it, it's going to leave an impression. So we'll have something like that. Or you might decide not to even press and just keep it and carefully use your marking pen to trace out where and where you need to punch. And once we have that, we'll take our punch plier and we'll make 2 holes. 1, 2. Now this is a pin logo. Remember I taught us about pin logo, chain logo, and the rest under tools and materials. So we'll have something like this. So we'll use this to mark the second one. If you are not careful, you end up putting both in one side. So be very careful. So use this to mark that. Put the logo through. And we'll bend it at the back. This is how we use pin logo. So this is what it will look like. Punch those through. The second logo too. Both ready. We'll put it like this. Fix it. And press it down. So we have this. So we now have our upper design, our insole. This is the upper design, this is the insole, and this is the undersole. This is the 3 parts I talked about in the introduction to shoemaking, introduction to palm making, when I explained it in detail, different parts. We have the upper design, the insole, and the undersole. So we are going to quickly last the upper design on the insole. The process of arranging the upper design on the insole is what we call lasting. So we are going to do this. do something like this. Yes. So we're now going to brush this part. Make sure you centralize it properly. Properly. Something like this. Centralize it properly. Make sure this tongue is in the middle. Then we are going to now. So this is what it will look like at the end. So we are now going to mark the part we want to brush off. We are going to brush this part off. Same thing here. We're going to brush this part off so that gum can stay on it. Once we have marked it, this is it. We are brushing this part and this part. We're going to transfer it here. Just place this on it and press. Press it. Press it. That way to transfer here. So we are going to quickly brush those parts off. It's going to be something like this. Remember, I told you, even if you don't have filing machine, you can use your hand sandpaper, abrasive. You buy abrasive, you gum it on top of any wood that is smooth and you are comfortable with using. You gum it. So that's what we have. So we have both parts of the footwear brushed. We're now going to apply gum. Let's apply gum here, here, here. Here. Apply gum on the under part of the undersole. This is the the insole, the back. We are going to apply gum. We want to attach that upper design to this. So this side like this. Same thing here, this side. Apply gum like this. The other side. Wait for it to dry a little, then we will last. Be careful not to rub gum on the side of your work. For neatness purpose, be careful not to rub gum on the side. So this is what we have. We've applied gum. We'll wait for it to dry a little. Then we're going to last it. This is a size 42 footwear. So we're going to use this 42 last. We're going to use the 42 last to last it. We'll have this. I'm still waiting for it to dry. Now we just last it quickly. We have this. See me put the undersole under the last. Then you align it properly. Then put this on top. Now you don't want this too forward, neither do you want it too backward. So you just make sure you shift it in a position that at least the last is coming out in front comfortably. You have last is coming out comfortably in front, and the back too is okay. So this is what it will look like. Then we are now going to drop the front part first. Once we drop the front part, we'll have this, and drop the back. We'll have this. Drop the front part, we drop the back. We'll have this. We drop the other part. So this is what it's going to look like. For a size 42, so this is what it will look like. This is what size 42. Before we're now going to put it on this. So this is what the client wants. This. So now we are going to use this to mark the second one. Since it's the same thing, our footwear are always symmetrical. I'm going to arrange this like this. Then take our marking pen and mark where the edge of this. We mark this like this. Then we mark this too like this. We do the same thing on the other side. We have this. And we have this. So that way we have the point where we are going to put this. So we take the last again, put our last on this. Then arrange. Then we'll put the upper design on the last. So we pull down the front part first. Now we're going to follow that marking. Check here, we check here, drop the upper design. Then we'll check the ones at the back, making sure our last is properly centralized. Check this part, we drop this. Check this part. That's the mark. We drop it. We drop the front, we drop the back. Push the last forward for proper fitting. Then we'll drop the sides. That way we have this 442, this, and this. So the next thing we're going to do is we now take this to our bench grinder filing machine. We'll file all these parts. Then we apply gum all through and apply gum on the under sole. Then we do the final closing. So that's the next step.
Before we apply gum all through, we are going to stamp our name on the footwear. Now, if you remember, if you watch the video when I taught on tools and materials, you will see I mentioned a particular machine called hot foil stamping machine. That's the machine we're using putting name on our footwear. So this is the machine. Then this is the stamping block. So that is the stamping block, the one I took earlier. That one, that's where the name is engraved on. So this is the machine the stamping block. Now if you want the name that will appear on the footwear to be maybe a golden color, that golden thing is now the foil. So we'll put the stamping block, we'll put the foil first, then you put the stamping block on the foil before we actually put it under the heat press. The heat press, all it does is apply heat. Now for those of you that are just starting, you don't have money to buy heat press, you can just go as far as using your electric iron. Your electric iron will still serve the same purpose as the heat press. Now just watch. So when I remove the foil, you see the brand name engraved is showing on the floor of the footwear. Now you do it for the second leg as well. But what if I don't want the maybe the name I want to engrave, I don't want it to have gold? You can just put it directly on the leather. When you press it, it's going to be like engraving. It's going to press on the leather and it's going to show on the leather directly. That way, that's where you see some names on maybe a belt. Now if you see it is directly on the leather, you just pressed it inward. That's called engraving. Then this is when you add foil. So after that, we're now going to apply gum at the back all through. Remember, we filed it. We apply gum at the back all through, then we apply gum on the under sole. After that is to close the footwear. So that's what we are going to do now. We apply gum all through. So this is me applying gum all through to the work before we now close it, and voila, that will be the end of the footwear. Now while you're applying gum at the back, you have to be very, very careful so you don't stain the edge of the work, so that you don't stain the edge of the work with gum. Just be careful when you do it. It's very important. So that's what it's going to look like. Then after this, now in the comment section, if you know you are not following us on this page yet, please do where to follow us. Turn on your notification button, subscribe, and turn on your notification button for more updates like this. This is just like beginning. We are still going to do more things that we're just taking you from a novice to intermediate. So follow.
So this is the final stage. Now we've left this for like 10 minutes and this as well. So what we are going to do now, we are going to heat both. We heat it just slightly, then we do the second part slightly. Do it again. Now I'll start closing it from front. So it will be something like this. Make sure the edge is properly, so it will be very clean. The edge should be capped. I close the sides, close the second side, now close the back. Make sure it is capped. The idea is for you to sit inside the welt properly. So we have something like this at the end of the day. Then you press it very well and ram it. We press it very, very well. Press very, very well. We press very, very well. If you don't know how to press very, very well, you eat fufu, so you know how to press it very well. For those of you seeing this video from outside Nigeria, fufu is starch. You eat enough of it so you have strength. So this is what we get at the end of the day, and we are ready to give it to our client. Now let me shock you. The price of this now, this is very good leather. The price of this is because of someone I know. We are making this for him at the rate of 28,000 naira. Won't you buy this for 28? Look at it now. Is it not giving? So if you have questions, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll respond to it. And don't forget, please subscribe, like, and share our video for more content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So the next thing, let's take it to the studio and snap some beautiful pictures so you see all of it.